Good morning, everybody. My name is Trent Warner. I'm with GSI. I'm based out of the Midwest. Official title is Sales Technician. I'm known to go just about anywhere in North America. Here we're going to talk about in this video general labeling types. It's all going to be brand on demand, which basically means print when you want it and what you want to print at the time. We're going to cover some thermal inkjet printing. We'll cover the Imperia software, Matthews piezo technology, and we're going to cover some TTO, thermal transfer over printing. And then we're going to look at Limtronics and some CMYK, which is just cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Pat, will you go ahead and start the video?
I sure will.
So as both Paul and Pat discussed, GSI and T3 have created a partnership for success that's grown out of our mutual desire to increase the productivity and business solutions of our mutual clients. Here in just a second, as we go forward, you're going to see Pat's printing with that handheld he was talking about on the whiskey using the UV ink. So pause here. All right. And again, that was UV ink, so that was a Polytij printer, which is what we're going to look at next. And Polytij offers an exclusive range of custom inks for porous, non-porous, and direct food contact use in a range of Polytij HP thermal inkjet printers. Unlike other thermal inkjet printers on the market, Polytij uses a polymer resin, and what that means is that we can adhere to product that other manufacturers can't, and the longevity of that adhesion is much longer. So Pat, if you'll go ahead and push play. So here's one of the smaller Polytij. It's a built-in controller and printhead printing directly onto the product. That was integrated with T3 software as well. Pause. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead. Just let it go. My fault. So agricultural applications are big, especially with here we're actually going to print directly on the navel. And as you saw, that was a larger controller with a single print head. And this is just the kind of uniqueness that Polytij can do with their printing. Here we're printing directly onto the clamshells. Again, Polytij and most thermal inkjets can print either vertically or down. And here you're going to see, again, the adhesion. That is a big thing with Polytij, is the adhesion. All right. So next, there's the Polytij printers, and we'll go over those a little bit more in the end. If you guys have questions, we're going to have time for that. So make notes as we're going through there if there are questions you might have. Next, we're going to look at Matthews, and Matthews' uniqueness is its Imperia software. Imperia is a universal marking and coding automation platform that works with virtually any hardware or software, allowing the user to use multiple printing technologies on a variety of substrates. Go ahead and start the video, Pat.
Sure.
In this particular video, we're going to highlight the T-Series, which is a high-resolution piezo inkjet technology. As Pat was talking about earlier, this was integrated, I believe, with the Country Acres.
That's correct. Yep.
And here's your Imperia software. You can see the ease of use, the graphical user interface, and then pause here. If you could back that up just a second, Paul, or Pat. That's just a little bit more. Oh, just a second more. A little bit further, just to that GTI or that GS1 barcode right there.
It's a little dark here. Let's see. I'll get it here. Go back here. There you go.
So that's good. The reason I wanted Pat to stop here is this shows you we're talking about that PTI initiative, and this is really a label that is set up to be compliant with that initiative. It has your GS1 barcode. It has some of the other information needed. This one actually has a logo. So these are all the things that the Imperia can do as well as any of our software, depending on what size of print we're looking to. But this one's printing the T-Series, which prints a 4-inch printer minimum, but we can actually integrate that to stitch with other printers and print 12, 15 inches if we need to. So next, before I have him press play, we're going to go into thermal transfer over printing. So go ahead and push play. This is from a company called FlexPack Pro. They're very unique in the fact that their rugged design has allowed them to operate very well in the industry, and we have worked with T3 to integrate software. That one's a traversing print head, and it's just printing overprint on a ribbon onto the web here. And now we're going to print actually onto a label that already exists. We're printing either some data code or time, date, stamp, whatever's needed, and it's just printing it right onto the label. Overprinting is great for that. All right, lastly, we're going to talk about Limitronics. And Limitronics systems are unique in that they can print on a lot of different substrates. They can print on wooden boxes, SRP packaging, plastics, metal, cardboard, satin, coated paper, textiles, EPS boxes, and more. We're going to, again, look at, on this particular video, we're going to look at the CMYK printer. And all CMYK stands for is cyan, magenta, yellow, black. These are just the 4 colors that are used for printing the color images. If you'll go ahead, Paul, or Pat. And here you'll see that this one's actually going to use some UV technology that allows us to print on a lot of different substrates and also high quality GS1 barcodes. So that's the end of our video. I just want to touch quickly again on the different technologies. We looked at the Polytige, which is a thermal inkjet transfer, or excuse me, a thermal inkjet. We looked at the Matthews with their Imperia software, and we looked at the T-Series high-res piezo technology. We had then looked at the TTO, which is thermal inkjet transfer, great for printing on webs or right over your label. And then we looked at the Limitronics software, and printing equipment that allows you to print directly onto just about anything that you want to print on at a very high resolution. That's what sets them apart in the last one, is that they're high resolution print. Also, we didn't discuss, Pat did make mention in the beginning, but GSI also has laser printers, CIJ printers, and a very unique company called Evo Label that print and apply directly on demand, so that if you do happen to need a label, if there's some requirement, it's much cheaper to print it as you go than to try to pre-print the labels, and then you're stuck with that information. The strengths, as Paul talked about, of GSI are our vast industry knowledge. We have various ink products, equipment, and offerings. We're very capable in our maintenance, and our expertise is in custom formulation of both products, ink, and solutions. So if you need something custom, we have the ability to do that as well. Paul, unless you had anything to add, I'm going to turn it over to Pat.
No, that sounds good. After Jeff finishes up, we'll come back and we'll do some more video, and everybody can see some different approaches to solving solutions with our equipment.
Excellent.